Welcome back, everybody. Thank you to all those new subscribers and well-wishers. Welcome aboard. This is something I don't think it's been done. Something it's a bit different. The DIYaudio whammy Wayne Coburn. His headphone amp, preamp, stroke preamp. Some years ago now, I know. Yeah, I think that's the circuit. Yeah. Anyway, by the by, you can go on DIYaudio. There's a fantastic build guide on there. You can build up from it. Excuse me looking through these bits of paper, because the power supply has changed. My power supply has changed out of recognition compared to this. So there's the bare board. I built this up. This is a friend of mine. I built this for a friend of mine after he heard mine. But there are a few anomalies now, in as much as you have a regulated supply from the power supply. You have the transformer here. Transformer goes through some rectifiers, through a snubber. There's a capacitor here, through this 6 capacitors, and then that feeds off to the regulators, and the regulators feed the rest of the circuit and components. But I've not my idea. I was advised by an individual when actually he said you got some lovely FETs here. They don't need a regulated power supply. They would work better if you took the raw power supply off here and fed it over to directly to the input of the MOSFETs. Well, he said that'll be fantastic. So I did that, and then he said, well, in actual fact, you want a little capacitor just on the input of these. He said not big, doesn't have to be big, but it has to be, you know, voltage wise it has to be compatible, just to give it, it's just like a little local boost, and it worked a treat. I did some other things that he advised here on the power supply, and I went on my own, which was a fantastic upgrade. I also whipped these out and replaced them with Active Rectifiers, and these capacitors come out, and I replaced those with Mondorf. So this might be a 2-part series, I don't know. This is the modifications that I'm going to make to this board, that I've just outlined, and we'll see how we go. There'll be many saying, oh no, you shouldn't do that, shouldn't do that, shouldn't do that. I don't care, it sounds fantastic. Nobody is disappointed when they listen to it. So without further ado, I'll just put some paperwork away, because it just reminded me. Yeah, put some paperwork away. This unit, it's all very DIY. I do DIY. I don't necessarily do, let's say, commercial products, but this is all very DIY. I don't know whether that's in focus. I think so. The owner had these knobs made up by somebody, I don't know who. I think it's a bit of 3D printing. But anyway, let's have this apart. show you inside. Put that over there safely. So there's a whammy. Standard rectifiers, snubber there. Let me just, I got just move this so I can see what we're doing here. Yeah, so we might be better off with that. Without that, it will come back. I think we can see that. Yeah. So what we're going to do is replace these capacitors, smoothing capacitors, with Mondorf, and here's the capacitors down here, and you can see this bit of wiring. This wiring comes direct from the output, in effect, of this bank of capacitors, 1 plus 1 minus, all hooked up, and directly on the input we got a little I don't know, it's 1000 microfarad. That might be too big actually, now thinking on it. There's also a Scotch key op amp here. They work very well, they sound lovely. So I've got to replace these two regulators. There's two regulators here for SparkoS regulators, super regs. I think that's what they call them, SparkoS super regs. So there's a fair bit to do. So I'm going to carry on and strip this thing down best I can. That comes off there. You have to bear with me. I haven't played with this for a long time. That comes off there. Yeah, just about. Of course, one of the biggest issues doing this is damage. It's damaging somebody else's bit of kit. Always mindful that it's easy to damage something. So that's off of there, that's off of there. I think these will peel off, I'm not sure. I've got to take the whole thing out. In actual fact, it might be worth disconnecting these capacitors and leave them on the board. And you can see it's just a hodgepodge really, but you can see we've got a supply here. This is the negative supply, the yellow is negative, the green is the positive, from here, from the power supply. Seems to work a treat. Wait for the iron to warm up and I'll just get my blade. I've got one there somewhere. So again, I've got to apologise for this sniffly nose. I've had it for months and months. It just don't seem to go away for some reason. But bear with me. Life goes on. And you can see that this yellow wire here goes under the board. Away it goes over here, connects up here on the underside, and the green one goes over there, which is the positive, directly off of the raw DC. So there's hopefully that's That one. That one. Don't know where the joint is on that one. There it is. There we go. Get rid of that. And you can't see any of that on that one. I think I'll remove that shield. So I'm running this at 17 volts off the mains, and not 15. I think it's 17 volts. And actually, I think I measured this secondaries off of here, and they were it was 18 volts, I think. So it would go wrong. Let's take this apart. First things first, what I'm going to do is take a photograph. It's always best if you're doing a bit of DIY, because I can't remember, you can't always remember. I'm going to take a photograph of that so that, there you go, I've got a record of where the wires go when I put it back together, because it's sort of a complete strip down really. So that one comes off there, there's an earth, there like that. It doesn't take minutes. We'll take these off here. There you go. So in effect, that is the PCB and the power supply released. It's been released. So all I've got to do now is unscrew the posts. And these modifications transform the sound quality of this device. It's quite astonishing. It beats all comers really. So in theory, apart from these here that are holding on fast, did too good a job, didn't I? These here, there we go. I'll pull that back out. There we go. So I've got no need for this now. I can put that to one side. We're doing no further work on that. I'm going to put that away, put some screws away over there, out of the way. Don't need that. Don't need that. Put that over there. So there's the board, and as I said, I take the raw supply. In actual fact, it's on the side of the regulator, and I tap it and put it straight in to these MOSFETs. But this task, what I'm going to do first is change out these regulators. I think they're a little bit squiffy to get at actually. Yeah, I know I can do that a little bit longer on. Boy, oh boy, that is tight. Try this one. There you go, that one's alright. So a pair of tweezers. There's a nut on the back of here. There might even be a washer. that. There we go. That was tight, wasn't it? That one nut. All them threes. So I'm just gonna, it's always best just to make sure that actually there you go, the device is not clamped to the heatsink. So hopefully these should drop out easily. I'll just disconnect the supply, the jumper supply. There we go. And I'm going to cut them off short, these legs. They're far too long for the exercise I want to do. And hopefully all I've got to do is, normally I just flood this with solder from one leg to the other and it just drops out. It's as simple as that. Same with this one. Flood the whole thing with solder. And when you're installing these, of course, there you go, just drops out. When you're installing them, you don't want to bend the legs over if you can help it, because that would stop that. But getting over it is like cutting the legs short, as you just saw me do. So I'll just suck this out. Hopefully this will, sometimes this is very successful, sometimes it's not. That one's not. That one's not. That one's not. That one's okay. I've got a little sucker machine that I might have to use. Pump. No. I'll come back with my sucker machine, I think. So I successfully cleared these holes with a bit of braid, bit of heat, and they've come out quite nice actually, very clean, and a bit of flux. So I'm just going to clean the area because I've been messing about with it. Luckily on the PCB, I don't know if you can see that, there's actually idents. This side is a 7815, so it's a 15 plus or minus 15 volt, and this side is 7815. So it's a easy ident. I'll just go and get the regulators. So these are the regulators I'm using. They are SparkoS Labs Incorporated, 7915. This is a negative 15 volts, as you can see, and the other one's a positive 15 volts. So it's it is this simple. Once you've got the old regulators out and you're putting the new ones in, there they are in their entirety. It's just a normal regulator, but with an awful lot of, I can only imagine it's filtering on the back that makes it work. But anyway, by the by, we're going to put in the 7815 first, or should we do the 79? We'll do the 7815 first, and that is, hopefully it will just almost drop in here. But you can know it's a little bit fiddly because of all these components and the heatsink in the way. Let's have a look. Let me see. There might be an issue here because yeah, the legs, this diode here, the diode here is in the way. See this diode? I don't know whether that's going to be the same for that one. We'll find out. So the way round that, we're just going to whip this diode out. One leg. There's the other one. I'll just want to do the other one on the other side, don't I? I don't know if you can see that just about, I suppose. Just about. Yeah. There you go. And I can put them in. I have to tidy them up, of course. Do a little bit more hole clearing. I'm just tidying up the legs on this diode. So that I can put it back in from the other way. But first of all, I need to clean those holes out, don't I? So it's that one, that one, that one and that one. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use a bit of braid. So here, on here. Hopefully it will pick it up and draw it through. Put a bit flux. I'm putting a bit of flux on the braid. Let's see if we can draw this out. I don't think the solder sucker will do it, but nice bit of heat. You can see the solder being wicked up. So there's one, it's instant, but you've got to use plenty of flux. You can see it wicking up, wicking up, wicking up. We can move the braid along. There we go. Same here, it will wick up. Probably I'll make this look easy. It is not. Well, it is easy, but it takes a bit of practice to get this right, and to clean these holes up. This one's being a swine, you see. Look at that. So if it doesn't come out clean, put a bit more solder in, fill it back up, a bit more flux on the braid. Flux is suction to solder. So there you go. You can see it sucking up now, and there you go. Job done. So these diodes we're putting on the reverse side of the board to get them out of the way of these regulators. Just got to make sure we put them in the right way. So back in the right way, it is that one goes that way, so that one goes that way. They should just go straight back in the holes like that. And we just soldered them in place. Like that. Like that. Well, I think this one is the reverse of that. I'm just going to check. I'm sure it is. Yeah, that one goes in that one. Something goes there. Just like that. Double checking, you can see me double checking. Double check this, double check that. Like that. PCB cleaner. Clean that off. Over we go. So back we go to the positive. 3815, 7815, 7815. Can't get my finger in there. 7815. There we go, in he goes. 7815, 7815, that's the positive side. So we get our little 3mm screw. Sorry I keep banging this camera, I'm going to move it in a minute. It's just annoying me so much. Up we go, come on. There we go. And the legs still aren't poking through. Isn't that annoying? Ah, yes. I think I have to do a little bit of bending. I'll show you that on the next one. There you go, it's in perfectly now. Yeah, I have to do a bit of bending and I'll show you on the next one. So I need obviously an M3 nut, and this goes through there. They actually don't get hot. This is overkill. This heatsink is massive overkill. It is, I'm going to say, not necessary. So it's a 7815, which is a positive. 7915, which is the negative. So what I did, what the problem was, the bend on here is too shallow. I need to push that actual regulator further down. So all I did was just do that. It's not by a fraction of a millimetre, just to give me some extra purchase power, as it would be. So here we go, let's have a look. Oh, damn. Goes like that. That's fine. M3 screw. And like that, let's get the nut. Hold on. A bit tight down there. So there we have, you can see, the SparkoS regulators in situ. I like to move the diodes below, and we're going to just do a bit of soldering down here, and I'll move the camera. Oh. There's a little bit of solder on there. Like that. That's lovely. I'm going to give that a bit of a clean. I'll give that a bit of a clean, but it doesn't clean very well. Just leave it evaporate, and it comes up. Look at it. Doesn't clean very well. By the by, it leaves a stain. Isn't that strange? Anyway, try and get it off with. Normally on other PCBs, you just give them a squirt of PCB cleaner, they come back up like new. But this black solder screen doesn't. Ambersil PCB cleaner, I'm going to say it's not very good. You're better off with a bit of iso, alcohol, 50% and water. So I think that is going to be the end of part one. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for all the kind comments, and if you want to buy me a coffee, please do so. It helps me with my equipment on site, bit of hardware, bit of software, and the software to make the videos is gone up and up and up. The free ones aren't very good, so thanks a lot. See you in part 2.